Good evening. You're watching To The Point with me, Preeti Chaudhary. Let's directly cut across to a big development that we've been tracking all the way in London. Vijay Mallya gets bail. After being very briefly arrested in London, he was arrested at about 9 a.m. UK time by the Scotland Yard on behalf of Indian authorities on charges of financial fraud. Well, just to jog your memory, Mallya owes a whopping 9,000 crores to the consortium of Indian banks. Mallya's arrest comes less than 2 months after India toughened its stance to extradite Mallya. Remember, only about last year, the UK had rejected India's plea to extradite Mallya. Let's tell you how India tightened the noose around Mallya. In May 2016, India sent a deportation plea to the United Kingdom, which was subsequently turned down. India continued its relentless mission to get him back, and then in February this year, it sent a letter rogatory to the United Kingdom in the money laundering case. The same month, a United Kingdom court allowed the ED, the Enforcement Directorate, to invoke the Mutual Legal Assistance Treaty between India and UK to corner Mallya in the money laundering case. Now, in March, the British government sent India's extradition plea to the Metropolitan Court, and today, Mr. Vijay Mallya was arrested, albeit only briefly, only to be let out on bail. All right, so what Vijay Mallya did shortly after getting bail was he tweeted. Well, brushing off with what has been reported, his first tweet, his first reaction after his arrest, and I quote, "Usual Indian media hype, extradition hearing in court started today as expected." Playing down his arrest, Vijay Mallya tweeting that just about 5 or 10 minutes is what our correspondents tell us after being given bail. And clearly there have been a lot of political opinion and other as well. Let's quickly take you through all the reactions. MOS Finance Santosh Gangwar spoke exclusively to India today, assuring that India will follow all legal procedures to bring Mallya back.
बताना चाहेंगे, हम किसी भी अपराधी के पक्ष में नहीं हैं और इतना जरूर कहना चाहेंगे कि इसके संदर्भ में राज्यसभा में भी हमारे द्वारा बोला गया था और ये एक जो कदम उठाए जाने थे उसकी प्रक्रिया का हिस्सा है और कानून सम्मत जो भी कदम कार्रवाई हो सकती है उस कार्रवाई को हम करने का काम कर रहे हैं.
So shorten the arm for the government, but is it too open to cock open the champagne bottle? Because clearly the road to extradition is far and longer. Joining me right now is Lavina Tandon from London. She's been fronting these developments in London for us. We have in the studio Mohammad Khan from the Congress. We are also joined by Mr. KTS Tulsi, Senior Advocate, Supreme Court. We also have our consulting editor, Rajdeep Sardesai, joining us. Gentlemen, before I come to you, let me quickly get in a word from Lavina. Lavina, just take us through the day's developments. A quick arrest, then bail, and Mr. Mallya back home comfortable.
Yes, this was certified by the UK office, the formal request for extradition, and then on the basis of that, the arrest warrant was issued and he was arrested in the morning by Scotland Yard. Indeed, he was very short while at Belgravia station in questioning and for the preliminary hearing here at the Westminster Court where he was granted bail, and 17th of May has been ascertained as the starting of formal process of extradition hearing, which means that now the Indian counterpart would need to present a case whereby they would say why they require the extradition of Mr. Vijay Mallya. Also, Mr. Mallya has, of course, the right to appeal, which he has, and this case would be considered by the Home Office ultimately. But the hearing depends on how the case is presented. The hearing could go on for short or for a long while, as we have seen in the past.
All right, Lavina, stay with us. We also have Rajdeep Sardesai, a consulting editor. He's been also in touch with Mr. Mallya's lawyers. Rajdeep, how do you read the development? Clearly, not a diplomatic coup, but definitely India has shown some diplomatic muscle here.
Well, I spoke to Vijay Mallya, and it was very clear that Vijay Mallya doesn't have any immediate fear of extradition.
All right, Rajdeep, I'm afraid I'm coming in, and the reason why is because we're having a problem with your audio. So let's just, correct that, and we're going to be right back with you. Let me go across to KTS Tulsi. He's also joining us right now. Mr. Tulsi, from here on, the road to extradition is long and arduous. Is it what it seems like? Can you just take us through the legal proceedings? And what are we going to be expecting over the course of the few months now?
You see, I have with me the extradition treaty between India and UK, which was signed on the 22nd September 1992. This is, of course, an extraditable offence, because any offence which is punishable with more than 1 year is an extraditable offence. It is definitely not of a political character. It is in fact a huge fraud on the employees and on the banks. But the question is, it's a bit intriguing. We don't have copy of the order of bail as to how the bail could have been granted on the same day of arrest, because according to Article 12 of the treaty, the bail, Article 12 Clause 2, a person arrested shall be set at liberty after 60 days, on the expiration of 60 days, if no request is received. Now, I believe that the request has already been received, and it's a bit intriguing as to how he could have been released on bail, and whether it was opposed or not opposed, and what were the grounds.
All right, Mr. Tulsi, stay on with us, because Rajdeep Sardesai, a consulting editor, has been in touch with Mr. Mallya and his lawyers. Rajdeep, you've been speaking to the lawyers. What are you getting from there?
What Mr. Tulsi says is...
All right. Rajdeep, we are still having a lot of issues with your audio. I'm afraid we're going to try and correct that and come back to you. Mr. Tulsi, let me come back to you again with what you were saying, taking off from there. You're talking about the extradition treaty, but let's just go back in terms of the history that we've had with the United Kingdom. It's not quite pleasant. Or look at, the precedents that there have been. We've only managed to get one extradition till now, and that to be in the Navy Leaks case. Nothing really when it comes down to financial fraud. So what are we looking at here?
Yes, in fact, you see, English courts will scrutinize the entire evidence that has been sent by Indian courts and the Indian government. And the scrutiny is very stringent. They go into the question as to whether there is any loophole, whether the offence is clearly made out, whether it is unjust, whether it is oppressive, whether it is lacking in good faith, etc., which are the grounds which Mr. Mallya's lawyers, I'm sure, will be raising. And they are extremely frugal in granting extradition unless it is a foolproof case which can lead to conviction. In most of the cases they have declined extradition, and I'm wondering, I cannot speculate as to what are the reasons for bail, but if those reasons are there, that means that there is something seriously wrong with the request or the evidence that has been accompanying the request.
All right. Mr. Tulsi, I believe our producers tell us we're also joined right now by Mr. Sudhanshu Mittal from the BJP. Mr. Mittal, the question that I'd had, first of all, it's a shot in the arm for the government, so congratulations there. It's been seen as India showing considerable diplomatic muscle.
It is the intent which is critical. This government has an intent to catch up with anybody who has violated the law of land. People have been taking the law for granted and thought that their stature and their status would provide them with impunity. A chilling message will go down the spines of all these people who have looted public wealth, that they cannot escape from the long hands of law. And I think that's what is the critical element in this. I am disappointed that Mr. Mallya has got a bail. But nevertheless, there is another accomplishment I see in that. Mr. Mallya now cannot escape from UK to take refuge in any other country which may not have a very strict extradition provision. So to that extent, Mr. Mallya is now under serious pressure vis-a-vis the criminality he has perpetrated in India. One more thing which is critical is, though the English law has been extremely difficult. I still remember the Nadeem Shravan fame case, Nadeem, where he was, extradition was declined in spite of the fact that he was charged with murder. And in that, the grounds were political persecution to community and all that, all kind of frivolous grounds were taken and which were entertained also.
All right, so Mr. Mittal, Mohammad Khan from the Congress wants to come in.
Laundering.
No, he wants to interject.
Hi, Mr. Mittal. Hi, I've been listening very patiently to you, Sudhanshu sir. I've been listening very patiently to you, and while I admire the zeal and gusto with which you're defending the government's position, I think, given your history with Mr. Vijay Mallya, this is not something that gives confidence to us Indians. And let me tell you why. In 2010, you support Mr. Vijay Mallya for his candidature to the Rajya Sabha. In 2015, you withdraw his LOC, the lookout circular, from the airport so he's allowed to travel abroad, escape in the first place. In 2016, Mr. Mittal, you waive off 1,200 crores worth of loans as bad debts. So forgive me, Mr. Mittal, if I feel that your words right now are empty. And let me ask you something. The esteemed counsel who spoke before me rightly pointed out that the government of India could not put together a strong enough case to oppose the bail of Vijay Mallya. He got bail within 1 hour. I would truly have lauded you, sir, if your counsels had made out a stronger case there. Prima facie, you've made out a weak case. What is going on, sir? Frankly, I don't repose a great degree of confidence in this government, as I explained, because of your history with Mr. Vijay Mallya, and I don't think you're pursuing this with the greatest of sincerity.
But Mr. Khan, you know, so that Mr. Mittal can turn around and, if we're talking about history with Mr. Mallya, you know, Congress has a fair bit of history with Mr. Mallya as well. Mr. Mittal, yes, your turn.
You see, unfortunate part of the story is, Mr. Khan, the history of fraudulence of Mr. Mallya is with you, in active connivance with your government and your ministers, your finance minister, who had pressurized then the SBI as well as IDBI to grant him the loan in spite of... Allow me to finish. In fact, I did not intervene. I am not here in the fish market.
Yes, Mr. Mittal, finish. Yes, don't interrupt. Come on, yes.
Something is actually wrong. I will intervene.
Mr. Mittal, finish. You'll get your turn. Finish.
You know, this is Mr. Khan, if this is how you're going to conduct yourself, you'd rather speak, let me not speak. Because I do not get into fish market fights. You've just talked about, please, you know, I am talking facts and I don't need a certification of facts from you. I am very confident about my facts. So please don't intervene in between. You know, you just talked about writing off to a 1,200 crore loan. I mean, what kind of falsehood are we wanting to perpetrate? Which government has told Mr. Mallya that the 1,200 crores which you have taken and which money is due from you is no more due from you? What strange things do we talk about?
This is not a statement of my opinion, This is a statement of fact. The government came forward and said they're waiving off loans of 1,200 crores as bad debts.
Miss, can you check the gentleman? I don't think gentleman has the manners to enter into a debate.
I will intervene if you say something that is based on your opinion and not founded in fact.
I don't intervene in between. I have a right to speak. I have a right to, and if I don't have a right to speak, then I'll rather keep quiet. I'm not getting into a fish market fight with him.
Continue, Mr. Mittal. Yes, quickly make your point.
Here is a government which is pursuing. Here is a government which is pursuing with all vigor against people who have defrauded this country. And here is the spokesman of a party which is known for its own corruption, which is known to have given all this money not only to Mr. Mallya, but all the defaulters. It is that party today talking for
all right,
yes,
quickly, Mr. Khan.
Thank you, sir. Now I must respond. बड़े सब्र से मैं सुन रहा हूँ आपकी बात. Sir, आप जब हम पे आरोप लगाते हो, हमने शुरुआत से कहा 3 साल से कह रहे हैं, sir. You find an iota of evidence against us, you prosecute us, sir. That's the difference between us and you. The fact that you've not taken any steps against us speaks very poorly of you, sir. Please put your money where your mouth is. Don't go into the realm of opinion. The facts condemn you, sir. The facts hold you liable.
All right.
आप छोटे मोदी साहब, ललित मोदी के खिलाफ कुछ कीजिए ना, सर, अगर आप लोग इतने सिंसियर हैं against corporate crime.
Okay. You know, Mr. Mittal, I'm going to come back to you. We're going to cut across to Lavina, my colleague. You know, Lavina, the question right now, of course, is yes. Mr. Mittal, I'm coming back to you.
छोटे मोदी का करा था, आपने क्यों नहीं करा? हमसे पूछने वाला आपके लोग का स्टैंड क्या है?
Mr. Mittal, I'm coming right back to you. Let me bring in my colleague Lavina. She's been tracking details in London. All right, Lavina, you know, the question also is, of course, he's been given bail right now. It was for whatever reasons that there is. Now the investigations will continue. You know, the legal proceedings will start. The question is, can the Indian investigating agencies have access to Mr. Mallya now? Are you picking up anything on that front?
Sorry, can you repeat? Can Indian
investigative agencies over the course of the legal proceedings which start now, will they or can they have access to Mr. Mallya? The ED, the CBI, can they have access to him?
through the court now. This matter has come now in the court.
Yes.
The access will be through the court. Either side of the lawyers will have to present a case. Mainly CBI or the Indian authorities will have to present a case on why the extradition is required. And there are 4 grounds that UK government really looks at. Human rights health plays a very, very important role. Whether the country has a death penalty or not, whether he was extradited from another country or not. There are 4 grounds that the Home Office really extremely and stringently looks at. So this will be through the court now. This becomes a matter totally of the court. And of the court that is behind me right now.
All right, Lavina, let's get an opinion. I believe I'm just being told Mr. D.R. Karthikeyan, former director CBI, is also joining us. Welcome to the show, sir. What we're discussing is it possible right now that even after Mr. Mallya has got bail, once the legal proceedings start in the United Kingdom, can the Indian investigative agencies get access to Mr. Mallya?
I think so. I think so. By following the due procedure and getting the permission of the competent authorities, we should be able to have an opportunity to talk to him, interrogate him, investigate him. It should be possible.
There's another question, Mr. Karthikeyan, and that is the fact that, do you think somewhere down the line, and that's a question which has been raised repeatedly, especially by Mr. Khan, who's sitting right here from the Congress, was the CBI also lax over the last 1 year? Did we allow him to go? Was there a certain amount of collusion is being alleged at this point of time? Should we have acted earlier? He left in March, and charges say were only filed in January this year when it comes to criminal conspiracy. Do you think there was laxity on the CBI's part at all?
Well, you can't say that because, the procedure is quite long, and this is not the only case CBI is investigating, and there are equally important cases, engaging the attention of the senior officers of the CBI, and such matters involving people living in a foreign country, they have to be gone through a lot of legal procedures, and involving the External Affairs Ministry and Interpol, and so many, involving any investigation outside the country takes a lot of time, and you can't make any wrong move. They must be getting authentic legal advice from India, from abroad. You can't say that all investigations are delayed, unfortunately. Other trials are much longer delayed. Whom are you going to blame? And this blame game doesn't lead us to anywhere. Whether there was any lack of intention or effort, I doubt. Because in such cases they have to be treated very carefully. They can't make any wrong move, and it may result in, it will be counterproductive.
All right, Mr. Khan, you've been nodding your head when Mr. Karthikeyan is saying that when we posed the question to him. But my question to you is, now this delay that you're saying that maybe he should have been arrested last year. Now this alleged collusion that even you're referring to would actually, the buck would stop with the term that your government was serving, your finance minister.
Preeti, let me...
People in very high places when it comes down to your government.
Right. Preeti, let us examine this dispute and the context in which it arose. Firstly, we began to realize that Mallya is going to default on his debts around 2014 and 15. That is when complaints started to come to light. That is when banks started investigating. The NDA was in power at that point of time. What did they do? Nothing. In fact, he continues to occupy a position in the Standing Committee on Aviation, ironically. He leaves the country. There's an LOC, it is withdrawn. A lookout circular is withdrawn. Now, that can't happen without collusion. That can't happen without connivance at the highest levels. There's a saying in Latin in law, res ipsa loquitur, the facts speak for themselves. There is someone here who is working to shield Mr. Mallya.
Mr. Mittal wants to come in.
Mr. Mittal is right in saying that yes, they're trying to take steps. But sir, these steps seem impotent at best at this stage, sir. 3 saal ho gaye, sir. 2 saal bache. Let's see what you're able to do in this point of time.
Mr. Mittal, yes, come in, sir. Mr. Mittal, come in.
I would really appreciate, I would have really appreciated if Mr. Khan could have given us the details of the LOC being withdrawn by the government. I mean, he is accustomed to speaking lies, which I can't help, because he just now said the Indian government in today's case did not present a case before the British court. Does he realize Indian government is not even before the British court? He was arrested by Scotland Yard.
Don't make these personal
Indian government had
they don't
no counsel there to present.
Let him finish, Mr. Khan, let him finish. Make your point.
The problem is, I don't know, you should be a decent man. Miss Preeti, do you want me to speak?
Finish, sir, finish. Mr. Mittal, finish. Mr. Khan, give him that. Yes, finish, make your point. Mr. Khan, let Mr. Mittal make his point.
So the criticality is now because the Congress's conduct, in comparison to what this government has done, is so much out in the open. They have now to resort to only lies, but it doesn't matter to us. We are determined as to what we have to do. We have pursued the case with vigor, and we have shown results.
This is bigger than I worry how you pursue something with lethargy. 3 years is what it took you.
Mr. Mallya, look at what kind of indecency do you have here? You have no manners. I thought we were having a civilized debate.
Finish, Mr. Mittal. Finish, Mr. Mittal. Let's not get into these.
That shows your frustration. That shows your incompetence.
Make your point, sir. Make your point.
So, please arrive at the point.
Mr. Khan, let him make his point.
I am saying that this government, all the charges which Mr. Khan will like to make, I don't care, and this is not what we are addressing to. We are addressing to a monumental step which has been taken. That a fugitive who thought he could be secured and safe in England has been arrested, and the due process of law has now been unleashed on him. There is no way he can escape. Sooner or later he is to be fired. And if Congress wants to take laurels for this, let them take it. I have no issues. We are a duty-bound government. We work for the nation. We work for the country, and not for cheap publicity with the Congress.
Mr. Mittal,
all right. Let's bring it.
Again, I am saying, as a nation, we must all be together. As a nation, we should be together in fighting the menace of this kind of fraudulence.
After 3 years,
it has
I
been
feel embarrassed for your government, Mittal Saab.
Perpetrated by the previous government of the Congress.
All right, let's bring in KTS Tulsi. Let's bring in Mr. Tulsi. Mr. Tulsi, the question I'd like to ask you here is, how do you read the developments there? Do you think this was a token arrest, or do you reckon that clearly India did show diplomatic muscle when it came down to the arrest of Mr. Mallya?
It's not possible to say anything unless we read the order.
Right.
I don't know what were the grounds, what are the findings, what are the reasons given. Otherwise, so far as Article 12 is concerned, normally it's only after the expiry of 60 days when no request has been received that the bail is granted. But I would like to say that Mr. Mittal is not addressing a monumental slip of the present government, and that is no inquiry seems to have been made into the circumstances under which the lookout circular was withdrawn. Who ordered its withdrawal? What action has been taken against him? If no action has been taken, that means that the government is too embarrassed to take action. This is not, it is as if the government has facilitated his exit from the country, and now all the steps are being made only to convince the people that we mean business. This may happen, may not happen, because extradition is very rare for UK, and the government of India earlier also knew that
even if we go back to there's been one case that has happened.
And that is why lookout circular.
All right, Mr. Mittal, do you want to respond to that?
Just in one case, and we have made
please ask him
very many requests.
Please ask him about the details. Mr. Tulsi, please give me the details of the lookout notice. Which is the agency which had asked for a lookout notice? What date was it issued on, and when it was withdrawn? When you make an allegation, you are a member of parliament. I can understand Mr. Khan making these kind of allegations, but you are a member of parliament. You are a very seasoned man. You are a very respected lawyer. Kindly tell me the details. If you want us to respond to an allegation,
so are you saying that lookout circular was not there?
Because I am not aware of any lookout notice which was withdrawn. You tell me, sir, you are making an allegation. I am not saying anything. I am saying you give me the details of the notice which you claim was withdrawn.
I would love to give you the details of the notice which you wrote in March 2015.
And what is the inquiry which has been conducted?
Mittal Saab, may I...
Sir, ask Mr. I am addressing myself to Mr. Tulsi.
This is in public domain.
I'm asking Mr.
If I may jog your memory back just a little over a year and a half ago,
I'll send it
March
to you. The whole
2015,
world
it was
knows.
the subject of front page news across the country.
You give me the detail and
the fact that Mr. Mallya gave you the slip was a matter of enormous embarrassment
in
for the
midst of all of
government. I'm sure you'll have to forget
give me the detail.
But still.
No, you give me the detail.
I'm giving you the details, Mr. Saab.
Can you imagine both the gentlemen are talking the same language without having any iota of knowledge about the detail?
With enormous
ask your government for the details.
There was a lookout circular, it was withdrawn, it was a subject matter of national news.
Your government.
Mallya gave you the slip, and yet you have taken no action against the person who withdrew the circular.
Give me the detail of the allegation.
At best you were negligent, at worst you were complicit.
Look at these two gentlemen lying with impunity on television.
Mr. Saab, either you are complicit or you were negligent.
In midst of all of this, in midst of all of this, there was...
But a very respected man.
All right, in midst of all of this, there was also an important announcement which many seem to have missed. Theresa May also said that snap polls...
Without knowledge,
snap polls would be conducted.
What a shame.
All right, yes, Mr. Mittal
will do it, not you.
All right, so in midst of all of this, what I was saying, Mr. Mittal, was that you know, with the arrest, with the bail, there was an important announcement which was also made, which was made by Ms. Theresa May, and she said that snap polls on the back of Brexit are going to be taking place. So, Lavina, that's the point I want to come to you on as well. Now, what happens once an entirely new government comes into place comes June?
This is, of course, the matter is now between the UK and the India government, and my personal opinion is whichever government comes into place, they would look to have a certain kind of relationship with India considering Brexit. So now that the process, also the second point is that the process has already started, and this has to take its due course in the court. So even if there is a government change, we could at some point say that okay, there might be change in the forward depending on who comes. But my personal opinion is that there would be an inclination to have good relationship between India and UK, though this was a routine matter, yet the arrest happened, and whichever way you look at it, the bail has granted and the process has started. So that's looking up at this point in time. We have to say though, and remember that this goes into the entire court proceedings, which could take months, years as well. But at the same time, I don't think change of government would greatly affect the case.
But will the prosecutors, because that would change, Lavina, wouldn't it?
Hello?
Yes, continue.
Sorry, I couldn't hear your question.
The prosecutors would change, Lavina, wouldn't they?
No, this is a case with the Home Office.
Okay.
And I would need to get more information on it, but I would doubt if the prosecutors would change, because the civil servants, this will be in the matter of the civil servant. What happens is that there are many cases that keep going on. Ultimately, of course, the decision of extradition does need the sign of the Home Secretary, which is the Home Minister here in this country. That, of course, is the case. And the final word does lie with the Home Office or the Home Secretary, as the case might be. But when the court proceedings are carried on, they should happen in a routine course, like it happens in any court, and represented by the Home Office. I do not think the government would mean the change of prosecutors, but I will note that point and bring more information on that to you.
All right. Okay, Lavina, we're going to keep coming back to you. Let's cut across to Mr. Karthikeyan, former director CBI. He's also with us. You know, Mr. Karthikeyan, how do you see things develop? Because you've seen many cases like that. Even if we go back where the history is concerned with the United Kingdom and extradition, it's not really positive. We've got one extradition till now.
See, I would say that this is one step forward, both for the CBI and Government of India. So far the allegation is neither the CBI nor the government in office is serious about this matter. This arrest shows it's wrong. Both CBI and the government have been serious. One step forward. It is to be taken that way. Of course, it will be a long procedure ahead. But all that happens, you know, when dealing with the governments, foreign governments, it happens. Now, unless and until all the governments in the world agree that this type of money laundering, fraud should be treated as financial terrorism, as serious as that, Otherwise, people will always find escape routes and go and exploit the loopholes in those systems and, evade the legal process in the country in which they have operated. See, more than that, see, a farmer, an agriculturist takes a loan of few thousand rupees for agriculture. Crops fail, either because too much of rain or no rain or pest, and then he is not able to repay the dues. Once or twice it happens, and there is so much harassment of the farmer. Either he is forced to commit suicide, or what is happening. Whereas here thousands of crores can be just defrauded, the taxpayers' money ultimately, and then nothing happens. So that's why the people suspect the role of politicians of any party or the governmental machinery. So unfortunately, this should be taken as a case so that people do not attempt to cheat the nation in future at least. I do hope this will be taken to the logical end. Otherwise, the people and the media will demand performance from the government of the day and the CBI.
But that's also the point, Mr. Tulsi, because a logical end would be extradition. Now, legally, would you just take us through the steps of what we're actually expecting from here on, where we can actually see, if at all, an extradition?
You see, the court is going to evaluate the evidence which has been sent. That evidence is the evidence statements and documents which are admissible in court and which have been recorded on oath. That evidence is going to be analyzed step by step to establish the UK court will have to come to the conclusion that it is sufficient evidence to bring home the charge. And they are not influenced by the opinion of the courts. They simply look at the evidence and form their own opinion, and they are very strict about, very conservative in allowing extradition when there is a matter of doubt. If there is a doubt, then the benefit goes to the offender or the person whose extradition is being sought.
All right. Very quickly now, Mr.
And it takes considerable time. It's going to be voluminous evidence.
Yes. Mr. Sudhanshu Mittal, okay, we're concluding now. Quickly, sir. Clearly, this is a shot in the arm where the government is concerned. This is the first salvo. Of course, there's the road to extradition is long and arduous here. Who takes credit? Mr. Jaitley and his battery of lawyers?
I think the country takes credit. I think it's the country which takes credit. The country is now determined to deal with the economic fraudsters, people who have taken the money of this country for granted and have looted this country.
I would be careful while
these
saying
are the
that,
people who are now
I would be
afraid.
very careful saying that.
So it's a great victory for the country.
Financial fraudsters have gotten away on your watch.
Can you please keep quiet? You are such an ill-mannered individual.
Mittal,
you are such an ill-mannered individual. It amazes me.
What kind of we are running short of time. Mr. Mittal, quickly.
I am talking, you will let, no, that's not the way. Sorry, we are not into a fish market. See, the country has done greatly. My kudos to the finance minister and his team. They have pursued the matter with such vigor and with such sincerity that it has shown their results. And let me, more importantly, as I said, it is a message to everybody, not just Mr. Vijay Mallya. You have a list of defaulters who have intentionally looted the country of its wealth.
All right,
all these defaulters are now worried. And that is what is critical.
All right, gentlemen, thank you.
The system will be corrected.
All right, gentlemen, thank you for joining us. I thank D.R. Karthikeyan, former Director CBI, KTS Tulsi, Senior Advocate Supreme Court, Mr. Mittal from the BJP, Mr. Khan from the Congress. Gentlemen, thank you for joining us. And thank you, Lavina Tandon, fronting all the developments coming in from London on this big story.